Hi yogis, Emmy here. I have another quickie yoga practice for you today. Let's get started in a comfortable seated posture. We'll just take our arms and sway them up towards the sky. Take an inhale and reach as high as you can up. Exhale and lower your arms. Let's do that one more time. Inhale your arms up. Reach as high as you can. Exhale your arms down. Let's take the left arm up and over. And release. Inhale the right arm up and over. And release. Let's do that again. Left arm up and over. And release. Right arm up and over. And release. Oh, let's give ourselves a great big squeeze with a hug. Finding a nice stretch in our back. Turn your body towards the front of your yoga mat. We'll sit on our knees and tuck our toes under in this posture. Take our arms out wide into a cactus and let's squeeze. Again, right elbow over left. Inhale your arms out into cactus and squeeze yourself left arm over right. Go ahead and try to lift your elbows in this posture. Inhale your arms out to cactus. Exhale, right elbow over left. Squeeze. Lift your elbows up high. Inhale your arms back out. Take a left elbow over the right. Squeeze, lifting your elbows up, maybe turning your gaze up as well. Lower your arms, inhale your arms up towards the sky, and find a gentle back bend. Exhale your arms down to the mat. Let's untuck our toes, and we'll place our hands behind us. Go ahead and step your feet in front of your body, so you're in a nice seated posture, ready to lift up into reverse tabletop. Your fingertips will be pointed towards your toes, slightly behind your hips. Your feet should be about hip width apart. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, lift up into reverse tabletop. You can turn your gaze up to the sky. Exhale, lower down. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, lift your hips again. Gaze faces the sky. Exhale down. Let's do that 2 more times. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, lift your hips. Maybe lifting your right leg this time. You can keep it bent or straightened. And lower it down. Take a deep inhale. Lift your hips. Lift your left leg. Maybe straighten it. And lower back down. All right, let's take our feet out in front of us for seated staff. Sit up tall, shoulders pulling down and away from your ears. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, walk your hands down towards your feet. Try to keep your spine straight. If you find a bend in your knees, that's okay. Eventually you can work on straightening them over time. All right, let's walk our hands back up our legs. We'll find a bend in the left leg, placing your foot on the inside of your right thigh. Inhale your arms up to the sky. And on an exhale, fold forward towards your foot. All right, let's take our left hand behind us and create a kickstand. We'll take our right hand and we'll sway it around and up and over as we lift our hips into stargazer. You want to turn your gaze up towards the sky. Feel a nice stretch in the top side of your body. Exhale, lower your hips and reach for your foot again. On an inhale, take your hand behind you. Your right arm reaches up and around, lifting your hips, turning your gaze upward. And on an exhale, lower your hips and walk your hands back down to your foot. All right, let's release that. Walk our hands back up. We'll find that on the other side. So take your left leg out in front of you. Your right foot finds the inside of your left thigh. Inhale your arms up. And exhale, forward fold. You can walk your hands up your leg. Take your right hand behind you and create that kickstand again. Take your left arm out, swing it forward and up and over, lifting your hips and lifting your gaze towards the sky. Exhale, lower down, finding your foot, forward fold. Take your hand behind you for a kickstand and sway your other arm up and over, turning your gaze upward. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, let's take our hand behind us for a kickstand. Inhale, your hips up. Your gaze reaches towards the stars. Enjoy the sensation. Exhale, lower back down. All right, let's bring our legs around us and come into a tabletop. We'll do a few cat-cows, so inhale, turning your gaze up, your tailbone up. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, turning your gaze and your tailbone up. And exhale, tucking your chin and tucking your tailbone. Pressing your hands firmly into the mat and tucking your toes, let's lift up into downward facing dog. You can wiggle your head, walk out your dog by lifting one heel and then the other. You can take your feet and step them a little bit wider apart. Take your right hand and see if you can find your left ankle, turning your gaze to the side under your arm. And release. Now let's take our left hand outside our right ankle, turning our gaze under. Release. Step back into plank. Shift your weight forward into high plank. Now let's do some slow mountain climbers here to get a little bit of core work in. Take your right knee to your right elbow in a high plank and step it back. Your left knee to your left elbow, step it back. Your right knee to your right elbow, step it back. Your left knee to your left elbow, step it back. Push back into downward facing dog. This time see if you can lower your forearms and do some dolphin dips. Just press down to your forearms and lift back up to downward facing dog. Lower to your forearms and lift back up. Lower to your forearms and lift back up. Now let's shift back into plank. Let's turn to the right, lifting our right hand up to the sky. Our weight will be on our left hand. Exhale, lower it. Shift your weight to your right hand. Left arm reaches the sky. And lower it. Now let's lower down through chaturanga, but land gently on the mat. You can take your feet mat width apart. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, press up into cobra. Lower your shoulders away from your ears. We're feeling a nice back bend in this posture. Exhale, lower down. This time, take your arms out into a Y shape. Lower your forehead to the mat. Bring your feet together behind you. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, lift your arms, your chest, and your feet. Bring your arms behind you into locust. Exhale, lower your arms to the mat. Turn your gaze to the right. Laying your left ear on the mat. Laying the tops of your arms on the mat on either side of your waist. Take your arms back up into a Y. Forehead reaches the mat. Feet are nice and together. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, lift your upper body and your legs again. Bringing your hands behind you. Floating up, creating some back strength. Exhale, lowering down and turning your gaze to the left. Your right ear can lay on the mat. Reach your forehead back to the mat. Let's take our arms back up into a Y shape. We'll readjust. This time our feet will stay on the mat. Take a deep inhale and just lift your upper body and cactus your arms behind you. You might look a little bit like a fork right now, actually. Exhale, lower your arms back up into Y. Forehead reaches the mat. Let's do that one more time. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, lift your upper body and your arms and cactus those arms. Exhale, lower back down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Your feet are nice and firm together. Let's take an inhale. And on the exhale, just lift your upper body without putting weight into your hands. You should be able to lift your hands off the mat just using your back strength here. Place your hands back on the mat. Shift back into child's pose. Take your hands, placing them together in prayer, and bring them to the back side of your head. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. And roll up out of your child's pose, slowly, one vertebrae at a time. So you reach a nice seated posture. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Let's take our hands behind us, clasping them together and straightening your arms. Lift your chest and your gaze towards the sky. Exhale, release. Now you can come back into a seated posture. I just want to do one final twist. So take your right hand to your left knee. Kickstand your hand behind you. Press into your knee and find a nice spinal twist gazing over your back shoulder. Exhale, release. Take your other hand to the opposite knee. Take your right hand behind you. Press into your knee and turn your gaze behind you. A nice spinal twist should give you the space and the energy you need to guide you through your day. Exhale, release. Maybe take your head and press it down towards one side of your shoulder. Release, and now reach for the other, pulling the other direction. Release. Thank you for practicing with me today.